No way! Dad, is this what I think it is?
That's right, son. Open it up and see what I got you.
Finally, I've waited so long for this Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Dad? What the fuck is this?
That's that Dragon Ball thing you wanted, right?
Bitch, does this say Xenoverse 3?
Oh, son, you know I can't read.
Okay then, guess it's my turn.
Now, son, if you keep acting like this, I'm gonna have to take you to anger management classes again.
It is time, my friends, for our yearly Xenoverse 3 update. That's right, the domain actually updated again, and it seems they do it just every single year. Keep in mind, this doesn't mean anything. It's just like something that, you know, I've been following. Same with Burkall and Cabby. We're kind of like the only people that really follow this. And shout outs to Burkall because he's the one that actually let me know that this happened because I was just like not even, you know, paying attention this past few times. But big shout outs to Bruno Art as well for this artwork as always. I like to use this one as just a little display in the background. This is probably still one of my favorite artworks that I've commissioned from Bruno, and he's an amazing artist. He does a lot of professional stuff. If you want to commission him for anything, I'll link him down below for you guys. So let's go over the little update on domain tools. Now, this is actually interesting. The Whois services, I guess there's going to be something going down with it next year, so I don't even know if we're going to be able to use this anymore, or if it's going to be, you know, going to a different website or a different domain within a domain, right? But as you guys know, this is the domain website that we've been following for, I think it's been over 4 years now. It's been a very long time. And at the end of every single year, they seem to extend the expiration for it, okay? This was updated, I believe, I want to say it was like maybe like a month ago or something like that. But the expiration is now in 2025 on the 9th of December, okay? Before, I believe it was the 9th of December in 2024, and obviously they would have to extend it because that date is gone now. It's over. So it's been a while. It's definitely been a while, but, you know, this being updated in November means that that's probably the most recent one that we've had, and I can't even remember the last time it did get an update. I don't think the expiration extended at all. Again, they're only doing it usually by, you know, more near the end of the year, right before the 9th, okay, because that's when it was created, okay? They created this in 2014, which still just blows my mind, dude. Like, that's, oh my god, that's like 10 years ago. Like 10 years that they've been, you know, fucking with this domain, okay? And keep in mind, this is an actual domain that is most likely saved for potentially a Xenoverse 3. If you go to the Xenoverse 2 domain, as a reminder, it has the same information, okay? The only thing that's different is if you scroll down to the Whois record, okay, it actually shows that the registrant organization is from Bandai Namco Entertainment Europe. Now, with Xenoverse 3's domain, it actually doesn't have that, okay? Obviously, they would not put any of that, you know, specific information just so that, you know, nobody's getting their hopes up like, oh yeah, it is actually from Bandai. But all the information is exactly the same, okay? Everything is the same. I think the contact phone and everything, or whatever this is, I don't even know what the fuck, abuse, whatever, that's something different. But yeah, all the other information matches up, okay? If you go up here, it has the same date. It was all created at the same time. The Xenoverse domain, though, I believe is a little bit different, okay? Xenoverse.com, not Dragon Ball Xenoverse.com, but just regular, just Xenoverse.com, goes to something else. I don't know what the fuck that is, okay? But this right here, which you can actually notice, it's not showing it on Xenoverse 2, but Dragon Ball Xenoverse.com actually goes to Bandai Namco's website, okay? I believe this one also is for America as well. It just redirects it. But again, it has all the same thing. The IP location from Paris, France. I guess that's where the main, I don't know if that's like the base of operations for Bandai Namco Europe, if it's in France. It could be. I don't know, because I don't live in Europe, so I have no idea, and I don't really follow anything with Bandai Namco's European, you know, branch or whatever. But I guess it's in Paris, okay? Everybody, or not everybody, but every other website that is Xenoverse related is all there, right? So again, everything does match up. Now, this is interesting because I can't recall if I ever looked if there was a Xenoverse 4. I just wanted to check, and no, that one actually has not been registered yet. So the plan that was definitely that they were going to do a trilogy for the game series, okay? And then after that, they were probably done, and they might have moved on to something else. And again, there's no confirmation that they're still going to do a Xenoverse 3 or not. I personally think they will, but I think it's just funny because I was just like, did they do a Xenoverse 4? They didn't think that far ahead, but it's crazy because, like I said, these were all created at the same time in like 2014, okay? I think the Xenoverse 1 domain was also created in 2014, but I think it was like 5 months earlier, okay? Which makes sense, okay? They would create that one first, and they were like, okay, well, we have the plans for a sequel and potentially one more after that, right? Because Xenoverse 2 came out very close, within about a year, okay? Little over a year after Xenoverse 1 released, which is still insane. That was just the gap between those two games, and Xenoverse 3, this is almost, what, over 8 years later? Pretty nutty, okay? Now, what do we got to go over here? Future Saga Chapter 3. That's the upcoming DLC. Again, we're confirmed to, at minimum, at least have 2 more DLCs, which are likely going to be making up all of 2025, okay? I can't 100% confirm that will be the case, but going based off of how they normally do DLC releases, they do 2 packs, each year. Okay, that's generally how it's been done in the past. Sometimes they'll do 3, and sometimes they'll do none. Okay, it just depends on what's going on. It's very rare that happens. I think, they had a free update for the Spring Kai time for the 6 million copies sold or whatever. That was just 1 full year they spent on that. And then in previous years, whenever DLC was first rolling out in the first super packs, I think they did up to around maybe 3, maybe even 4. It just depended. It was dependent on how much content there was and how much that they were rolling out at the time, right? But modern Xenoverse right now, 2 DLCs per year, generally, okay? Now, here's what we need to talk about, which is actually a little bit crazier, okay? Like I said, all of 2025 could make up Chapter 3 and 4, but after the recent release of Chapter 2, we have a lot of files that were found, okay? There is a 4th universe festival planned. Festival of the Universe is planned, okay? They have done 1 festival per year since, I believe, 2023. That was the Ultra Instinct update that they had, and that was in fall of 2023. Then they did one in July of 2024, which was this year, okay? And, I mean, it's the end of the year. They're likely not doing another festival. So we might be getting Festival 3 sometime in spring of next year, maybe even earlier than that. Now, I don't know if that means that they'll also do the 4th festival by the end of the year for the fall. They could. They definitely could. But if not, and they're only planning on doing 1 festival per year, that means that 2026 could also still have content for Xenoverse 2, which is not surprising to me at all. This game just lasts forever. But that just goes to show that if that is the case, then there might be even more to, not specifically the Future Saga, just dependent on whatever the fuck happens in Chapter 4, we might be getting something, even beyond that, right? They might do another saga thing where it's like they do 4 chapters or whatever, or a few chapters. This might be the new format of Xenoverse DLC instead of just the, Hero Justice Pack 1, and here is the Ultra Pack set that they used to do. You can't right now. You cannot buy these pre-purchase them in a set. These are all being released separately that we're purchasing. So there's no discount in a sense that you would normally get from a pack set that we would have in the past, right? But I'm sure after these 4 release, they're gonna have a pack set, which is gonna be the full Future Saga. And it's gonna be $100 fucking. No joke. It's gonna be really expensive because these seem to be a little bit bigger than most of them. And even though Chapter 2 was way smaller and way cheaper, it was half the price of Chapter 1. Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 could also be pretty massive, okay? They might be alternating 1 big one, 1 small one, 1 big one, 1 small one. That could be the case, okay? So, yeah, look forward to that at least. I mean, Chapter 3 is going to be awesome. We might be getting some information at Battle Hour. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll do some more videos talking about my speculation on what I think is going to happen with that, okay? Now, last part of this video, I just wanted to go into Reddit, and I wanted to read some of the, like, funny responses from people. These are more recent than times that I've gone on Reddit and, like, looked at it. And I very rarely go on Reddit to, like, look at what people are talking about in terms of, like, Xenoverse 2 or even Xenoverse 3. But shout out to Medical Badger here. He goes, when is Xenoverse 3 coming out? It's been almost 10 years now. And bro just took a picture of Goku. like with his phone, which is hilarious, okay? Target date, October 2026. Source, I made it up. Now, again, that is actually pretty funny because we might be getting more DLC by 2026, right? New races are Kai, Angel in Training, Android, and... People just saying dumb shit. I love it. Probably 2030. This game is still gaining players after all these years. 2030 actually doesn't sound too crazy. That actually sounds pretty reasonable, right? You know, that's in 6 years from now. So if we don't have Xenoverse 3 within the next 6 years, I might actually be dead and I won't be able to play it. But don't worry, I'll rise from the grave just to play it whenever it eventually comes out in 2031, right? You know, I'll die 1 year before the game comes out. I'll die like 2 months before the game comes out. It's gonna be crazy, dog. That's the neat part. It isn't. Sparking Zero hasn't even come out yet. Okay, yeah, this was before that happened. All right, let's read the more recent one, right? Because the responses on this one had me crying, bro. Shoutouts to Drag Knight 08. I want Xenoverse 3. I need Xenoverse 3. I think we all can agree that we are just like this guy. All right, he just like me for real. Fuck. When will we get Xeno 3? No. I'm not going to hear about Xeno 2 is technically 3 with all the updates. That's an excuse, and it won't be tolerated. I'm frustrated and starving. Bro is starving. This brother is starving, all right? Yes, I have played Sparking Zero, but it's not the type of game I roll with. It's an amazing game, but not exactly my cup of tea. And if I were to play it for more than 2 weeks, any news or updates? Now, again, I think a lot of people can agree with this sentiment, okay? Sparking Zero's been out. We've played it. We've liked it. You know, it's been getting updates. It will continue to get updates. Things are looking up for the series. It's improving. Great, right? And I very, very much enjoy it. It's a great game, and I'm going to continue to enjoy it. But I also love Xenoverse. It's a different game. I like being able to play as my own character. I like having a lot of customization. I like having a lot of freedom, okay? Sparking Zero, unfortunately, does not have that same freedom when it comes to customization. Has no CACs, no custom characters, no avatars. Don't got none of that. The gameplay is a million years better, light years better than Xenoverse 2, right? It's hard to play Xenoverse 2. Playing Sparking Zero and going back to Xenoverse 2, like Sparking Zero's like just like controls and combos and just like the system it uses, you feel like you just let it all hang out, bro. Like, this sounds crazy, but it's great. You just feel very comfortable. Xenoverse 2 is like buying a shirt made of cardboard and putting it on and playing the game. Like, you can't fucking move. Like, I feel like I'm so restricted. Like, I'm like in the BoJack movie, that one motherfucker that was like restricting Gohan and Trunks with their like thread wire key bullshit, whatever that is. That's actually a sick power, by the way. But yeah, you know what I mean? So, yeah, going back to it is hard. It's still a great game, and I'm still going to play it, and I will continue to play it until it's completely gone. But, like, whew, man. All right, so this one had me laugh so bro. Oh, my God. I hate to say it, but the only reason why we need a Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 at all is because Xenoverse 2 is fucking ugly. What do you mean by ugly? I mean, in comparison to Sparking Zero, Xenoverse 2 definitely pales in comparison. And don't get me wrong, I love Xenoverse 2. There are some features in Sparking Zero that I would give an arm and leg to have in the next Xenoverse game if we ever got one. Not to mention, please give us a better story than just a third. Hey, some people slightly altered the specific moment in history. Go fix it by beating them up. Give us an actual compelling story. I agree. This guy, he literally just took the words out of my mouth. Bro was reading my mind. And I didn't even know this comment existed 2 months ago. And we were already on the same wavelength, right? So yeah, that I 100% agree, okay? Xenoverse, I do not really have that big of a issue with how the game looks. It's never been an issue to me. Yes, it does not look as good as a lot of the Dragon Ball games, and it's dipped in oil, and you know, it's very old. It's a very old game, all right? This game came out in 2016. Only recently have we seen some better looking models like with Broly and Orange Piccolo and like, you know, Beast Gohan and stuff, right? But yeah, it's one of the, you know, worst looking games out there for Dragon Ball, right? I also agree that Sparking Zero did a really good job with their what if scenarios, like a new, you know, character like Gohan Black, for example. Xenoverse 2, that was up your alley, bro. Like, that was a Xenoverse 2 thing. I never expected Sparking a Tenkaichi game like that to do that compared to Xenoverse 2. Like, this ain't making sense. How did they not do that? So, yeah, something like that. They need to do more crazy stuff like that, okay? I'm cool with how they're doing the story where it's like, oh, let's fuck around with a certain aspect of this. Like, Future Saga is definitely way better. Okay, we're seeing things that we usually have, or we just don't see at all. Okay, for example, like the God of Destructions in the recent DLC story teaming up and fighting Ultra Supervillain Jiren. Like that's not something normally from Dragon Ball. This is all like in a sense post Turn of Power, because Goku and Jiren, they interact, they talk about fighting again. You know, it's absolutely post DBS. Okay. So they are going into a bit more of an uncharted territory. That's why they're calling it Future Saga, right? They're going into the future to do different things. And not every single one is in the future. Sometimes they go in the past. Sometimes they do some other stuff. But there are definitely some crazy things going on with Future Saga compared to Few just fucking around with a timeline slightly, right? Those were the other stories. But ever since Future Saga released, they've definitely been, you know, up in the game on it, right? So by compelling stories, you mean more of what ifs like Sparking Zero? Not that is an example. Also like minor, but we should definitely get an option to skip stories, making consequential characters. Listen, I'd rather look at Xenoverse 2 way more than the oversaturated looks of Sparking Zero. I don't know about that, okay? Both games to me, like I said, I don't have that big of a problem, but you got to be crazy to think that Xenoverse 2 looks better than Sparking Zero. Not that he's saying that. He's saying he'd personally rather see that, right? Yeah, maybe a new storyline altogether. Not some, oh, Trunks sees that minor mishap, let's send your pet dog to fix it stuff. This guy knows what he's on top of it, bro. Like, exactly. I agree. Something original, right? Again, messing with the timelines and having Goku and Jiren rematch with the Ultra Supervillain stuff. You know, it's cool. It's a little bit different, but let's get something completely original, okay? Like Dragon Ball Heroes, for example. But better than that, obviously, Dragon Ball Heroes don't really got much of a story. But, for example, like, Hearts, you had this new character, Hearts. He's like a god slayer in a sense, right? Like, that was kind of his thing. Like, that's a cool idea. The god slayer concept, I don't know, it's just so cool to me. If they did something like that, like, and have fun with it, and be all that fan servicey bullshit, like, they can do that. Like, that's what the games are for. Like, give me all the shit that, like, we want, right? Like, get in tune with what the community wants. Do that crazy BS. I love it. I will eat it up. And it's okay because it's for a video game, all right? It's not to be taken too seriously, and it's just fun. That's what I like about it. And Xenoverse 2 does a good job of that. Sparking Zero did good with that, with the what-ifs and everything. But the problem is, Sparking Zero's execution wasn't the best because of how the, like, story was. Like, some of the stuff was good, like the Gohan Black thing was great, but the slideshow, the PowerPoint shit, and then like the Sparking episode animations where it's like the motion capture, it's not horrible, but it's not great, right? I would have to say Xenoverse 2's cutscenes are way better. Okay, CGI and in-game engine as well. The recent one where it's like Jiren and Few teaming up, okay, and they're like fighting you, and that's just all in-game engine, no CGI. Like, that's just like the normal like game. That shit looked really good, bro. Like, I know it's Xenoverse 2 models and everything, but it wasn't like motion capture has too much of this shit. Like, what is this? It's like they're like, oh my god, it's uncanny. Okay, again, it's like the Jump Force type of thing. It's not horrible, but the motion capture definitely doesn't do it justice, right? So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Everybody just saying the same shit. I just wanted to go on the Reddit and, like, you know, just read some of the funny responses. But I thought that kind of, this guy, the Maverick guy, he summarized it pretty well with what we need in terms of, like, the story. And obviously, everything else expand upon what Xenoverse 2 has already built, right? So that's my little video talking about Xenoverse 3 again. I love talking about Xenoverse 3, bro. It's not even a real thing, and I just like talking about it. I love yapping, but yeah, that domain getting extended to 2025, always good to see. Doesn't mean anything, but yeah, comment down below, all right? I like to see the speculation on, or just like wish lists on what you guys really, really want for Xenoverse 3. Some people come up with like some new ideas and things that like I never even thought about because of like recent Dragon Ball games that we've gotten. And it's like, oh, let's take a little bit from this Dragon Ball game and let's try to incorporate it into like Xenoverse 2. Like imagine Xenoverse 3 had gameplay a little bit more similar to Sparking Zero, where it's like you had more freedom. Like that's a big thing that they could do. Like I like having directional inputs. Like if I'm doing a combo, I like to be able to do the sweep the leg and then do some more basic combos into like this one where you just like you kick them up in the air and then you can jump and follow up. Like that's so much better than what we have in terms of the stiffer gameplay. And you guys remember the jump from Xenoverse 1 to Xenoverse 2 was really big in terms of how much they upgraded the gameplay. And something like a Sparking Zero gameplay would be a game fucking changer for Xenoverse 3. Something like that. It don't gotta be exactly the same, but a little bit more freedom, a little bit more flexibility. It would do this game wonders, right? So thanks for watching. Drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.